Hey there, welcome to The Debrief. I'm Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcello.
This is the show where we meet the creatives who are shaping Detroit. And today we're going to talk about Zoom, because this is obviously something that we've all had to use.
Yes.
Everybody who is working has had to learn how to work on Zoom. I know that I have, right? I work for a consulting company. We do a lot of research. And so now we're doing focus groups on Zoom instead of bringing everybody into the conference room. Yes. And there's a learning curve to it.
There is. I mean, I use it for social stuff too, work and social stuff, like getting together with my sisters that all live all over the country. And we've had a Zoom game night and stuff like that.
And look, there's some things that it makes perfect sense for. It's an easy transition. Mm-hmm. There are some things where it's a little more awkward.
Right.
It's a little weird.
Right.
Take, for example, if you're a DJ who normally hosts dance parties, how do you host a dance party over Zoom?
Via Zoom and have it actually be fun and people want to come back.
Right. Yeah. How do you do that? I have no idea. We're going to find out today. Our guest hosts a weekly dance party. It is called Wednesday Night Vibes. It happens every Wednesday night from 8 to 11 on Zoom.
Yeah.
So let's find out how that all works, because I have no idea. Want to welcome to the show Sam Morykwas. Sam, hi. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. How about you?
Good. We're excited to be meeting Detroit's own D Nice.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. That's a high praise right there.
Bringing the community together. So
for sure.
Start off by telling us what you did before, and so how that became Wednesday Night Vibes and why you felt it was important to do something like that.
Sure. So my collaborator, DJ Seven Whales, and myself, we were roommates at the time, and we were sort of looking for a way to DJ in front of more people. This is early 2020, pre-pandemic. We were just like, how can we get us DJing visually more in front of people? And so we started a YouTube series that was called the Fisheye Sessions, and we would invite all of our friends over, stuff them in a room about this size, and then DJ for an hour, record the whole thing, and upload it to YouTube. We did about 3 episodes of that before we were derailed, and we couldn't shove a whole bunch of people in one room. And we tried to do 1 month on Zoom, and it sort of worked. And we had some of our friends tune in just to watch the recording, and they were like, the recording of it didn't work well, but the party itself was really fun, and we could get the audio going directly into Zoom from our DJ program, which really helped things out. A lot of streams early in the pandemic were Instagram, where it was like DJ speakers being played into a phone microphone that then gets broadcast out to people, that then gets interrupted by copyright violations. And it's just like tiring to watch DJs suffer through that. I think a lot of DJs turned to Twitch as well and sort of streamed it out, but we've always liked Zoom as more of the interactive platform. You can see all of your friends, people kind of participate. It feels more like a party than it is, hey, come watch us DJ. So we've been going 48 weeks strong this week.
Wow.
We've done every week, done some special editions. We have regulars who are on every week with us. So shout out to everyone who comes on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's been a very fun time. We've had a lot of very special moments that happen on Wednesday Night Vibes.
And what do you think is special about it? Why is this something that, kind of fulfills what you'd like to do as a DJ, bringing people together? Like, how does this do that?
Sure. I think for all of us, it's healing. I think we're all going through so much right now that it's really hard to sometimes clear our head or do the things that we would normally do for a sort of release. And I think for a lot of people, music is such a healing component for them to hear 2 guys who really care about what we're doing and really care about the music we're playing. And also it's a format where we can play, deeper cuts and B-sides and slower songs. It's like, if you're out at a party, you sort of have to keep the energy up the whole time. Whereas on Wednesday Night Vibes, we find ourselves in these very interesting musical pockets of older songs and sort of off the wall moments and letting whole long songs play. And it's just a nice format for everyone to kind of come together and feel, filled back up. Even though it's on Zoom, it's not really your typical Zoom fatigue. It's kind of like, you can tune in, have your camera on, you can be just listening to the audio, you can kind of interact and engage in whichever way is most comfortable for you, and we'll just provide the soundtrack to your life for one night a week.
Yeah, I know when I tuned in one time, it was a brunch. You had done a different day as a Sunday brunch. And I was just sitting with my family, and I thought it was so cool how just different people, some people were just sitting there eating their brunch, and some people were getting up dancing. And it was just like, I feel like I'm in everybody's house.
Yeah, how does that work? How is the interaction? Because this is not like the Zooms that I'm on.
Right.
It's not.
What does this interaction actually look like when people are interacting on this thing?
That's a really good question that I haven't actually answered before. But I think the interaction, people who choose to be on screen, I think have kind of a performer's element in them. So people who know the words to the songs are like singing the words or up and dancing or performing to the camera or interacting with what's going on in their environment. And I think other people are a little more chill. And so maybe they're in the chat window kind of, sending messages back and forth, and people are cracking jokes. We've actually had people get to know each other who are on there every week, and they're like, oh yeah, that's my friend, but yet we still haven't met in real life. And I also work at Eastern Market during my 9 to 5 time. And I've met a couple people from Wednesday Night Vibes who are on regularly with us at the market. And it's like, I wasn't meeting them for the first time. It was like, oh, of course I know this person. Like, I've seen their house, for the last 30 weeks. Like, I know
what their
who
preferred
their family members are, what their pets look like. You just develop kind of an ongoing energy and a rapport every week, and it kind of continues on and grows. And that New Year's brunch was very special too. A lot of people were having a lot of fun.
That was
people
great.
Were in their living rooms. People were in the pool in the backyard. My friends down in Florida. Very interesting day for sure.
Yeah. So how is this compared to, because you used to do live parties. So how is this compare to some of the same elements?
It's tough because it's a different energy. You don't get the same feeling that you do from a live show. I think nothing can really truly replace that feeling. But I think we're, in charge of the platform more. I think typically when we do parties, we're sort of a guest in the space, and to the event planner and to whatever the, whoever's being celebrated, maybe it's a birthday or a wedding or something where we need to really make sure that we hit certain songs. This is kind of, whatever we're feeling that week is kind of what we end up playing. And it could be all over the place. It could be a little more catered and, chosen and curated. But I think that's the vibes in Wednesday Night Vibes, is we just kind of get on, feel where the other people are at and what people are really responding to that evening. And it's sort of a different feeling, but it creates a similar essence.
So you just had to kind of be open to it and go with the flow. Did you have the intention in the beginning? It sounds like you were already set up to start a show when you were talking about the fisheye ones. But did you have this intention of consistency, this incredible consistency of 40 some weeks? I mean,
I guess so. We sort of set out to do a weekly show, thinking, it may last a couple months worth of the pandemic. And here we are a year later. Circumstances haven't changed. People are still on with us every week. We're still enjoying it. We're doing, we did a lot of special events sort of through the winter. We did some Saturday nights. We kind of switched it up and had certain themes and guest DJs. And, especially for the past 4 or 5 months, us in Michigan, we've all been inside, and it's just nice to have something to go to with circumstances the way they are, the weather the way it is, something to kind of look forward to. And I think the Wednesday night part is important too, because it's like this push into the end of your week where you can kind of pivot your energy of like, if you're working Monday through Friday, you're sort of on course. And by Wednesday, you're like, okay, a break is in sight. I can, keep the energy high for the end of my week as well.
Were there some weeks though where you're like, I don't even want to get on there? I mean, how do you get past that? Like your own fatigue?
I had months like that.
I mean,
yeah. Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah. How do you deal with that?
For me, I owe that to my partner, DJ Seven Whales. I know that every week he's going to show up with an incredible selection of music, and he'll be ready to go. And I think we both help each other and lift each other up in that regard. Even if our energy isn't all the way there for the evening, the other person likely is, and we can kind of help each other out in those moments. And odds are, once we get on like 10, 15 minutes in, we're hearing songs we're enjoying, we're getting the energy back up, we're focused, and all of a sudden it sort of pushes
It's
through.
on.
This is like having a gym buddy, right? Where
I workout
Exactly.
accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And kind of just like we've all had that, like getting out of bed is hard, but kind of like I was just talking to a friend about this. Once you start your routine and actually just get out of bed, it gets easier.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think for us, we've always done a good job of sort of giving each other energy, lifting each other up. One of the things I don't think people know who are on with us even regularly is in the course of a 3-hour, DJ set with each of us splitting 50% of the time, him and I will probably play 6 to 7 songs that the other person had ready to go for that same exact night. And it's not like something new or something that just came out. It's like something from 16 years ago that we just both happened to come back to in the same week. And we're very like, not only do we help each other in just sort of getting to the gym, I think once we get there, our styles are so intertwined that it ends up as a nice cohesive feeling through the night.
Yeah. So what do people dig about it? What's the feedback?
Oh, I don't know. I think for a lot of people, it's just sort of as I put it before, but healing to them. We've had people message us and just say, hey, we were going through it this week, or I had a really hard moment or a really hard few months. A lot of people have been losing people. It's been very serious for the past year. The news cycles have been really wild. And I think just having somewhere to go that's sort of free of all of that, even for a couple hours, I think is very important to people. And, just keeping their spirits high and clearing their mental space. And it was one of the sort of interesting pockets of time was this past January. It seemed like every Wednesday there was like some big event happening in politics.
Right.
And so it was like every Wednesday night we were there on almost a completely different energy. It was hard some weeks. One week was the inauguration, which I think a lot of people in our circle were super elated about and just were excited to celebrate. So it's interesting just to, feel the ebb and flow of what we're all going through as people and how much people rely on us in those heavier times to really create a space for them. And that's awesome. That's all we could ever ask for.
I dig that because he's talking not just like, hey, I tuned in to find out some cool music.
Right.
This is a bit, yeah. So what is, kind of leading into that, what has that taught you about the value of artists?
Oh, it's so important. And I think we've tried to provide a platform for DJs as well. So we've had probably 6 to 8 guest DJs on, all of whom are mostly out of work if they're relying on their DJ gig to be their professional thing. And every time we bring someone in, we've paid them. We want to make sure that, it's treated like a real gig would be. And that, they have a care to like do a sound check the day before with 7 Whales and myself and sort of make sure their sound is up to par. And, all of them have really shown out and done an incredible job. So I think for us, it's supporting the DJ community and our music community as well while we can.
Yeah. All right, Sam, we've got one last question we want to ask you before you leave. Cool. Are you ready?
I am.
Sam Morykwas, DJ and co-host of Wednesday Night Vibes. Let everybody know a creative in Detroit that we need to know about.
Sure. I want to shout out my other half of Wednesday Night Vibes, DJ 7 Whales. He's an incredible DJ, artist, friend, budding musician, so many things. Just a person with a lot of very good energy, cares about people, cares about women, cares about music, cares about life, and making sure that everyone can thrive and prosper. So go follow him. He's on Instagram at DJ 7 Whales, SEVEN Whales, like the animal.
Sam Morykwas, thank you so much for joining us. If people want to find out more about Wednesday Night Vibes, they can follow you on Instagram, and it's just your name, Sam Mory, Mory, Kwas, Kwas, and they can follow your partner on Instagram as well, too.
Take care.
All right, that's it for us. I am Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcello.
Lots of ways that you can find the show: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We've even got our own mobile app, or you can ask Alexa. She knows about us as well.
She does.
Until next time, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.